Okay, I want to take a moment here, Pops.
Okay.
I know you don't have your headphones, but let me play this really quick.
What are we playing?
Really, you gotta be kidding me.
Really? You gotta be kidding me.
I think your lip sync was a little off, but that
Probably.
worked. Hey, okay. There's a couple stories that I want to turn to here. The first one's going to be actually let me pull this one up first. We had Justin on our team. Really appreciate all the work that Justin does. We've got hybrid vehicles are most likely to be involved in a car fire. So there was a new study that was released by autoinsuranceeasy.com that talks about the likelihood of getting into a fire. Yeah. And look at this. It's like not even close. Like hybrid vehicles are I don't want to call them necessarily the Ford Pintos of our era.
Of our day.
The
Ford Pinto of our day is a hybrid.
Look at that.
Wow.
So for every 100,000 vehicles sold, there's 3,474.
Let's round up. Call it 3,475.
Hybrid vehicles that have car fires. Electric vehicles. People have some concerns around electric vehicles. No, don't. Yeah. It's the hybrids.
Yeah, unless it's a Bolt.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you could have some concern.
Then you can have a lot of concern. Yeah. Then we also had Tesla with a recall today. Recalls are very normal. We're not bringing this up just because it's Tesla. I simply found this one to be fascinating. Tesla recalls.
Well, because the car does what the average person does, which is a rolling stop.
Yeah, again, yeah. I'm not bringing this up just because it's 54,000 U.S. vehicles for rolling stop software feature that could ignore stop signs.
And
you know what? I like this feature because it mimics how I drive.
Yeah,
it mimics how you drive.
It mimics how 98% of the driving public drives. So
no, it stops. It's okay.
Yeah,
I typically stop at a stop sign.
Yeah, I mean, but I think it's great that they softwared in a rolling stop.
Yeah, it's fascinating. The Tesla told the Auto Safety Agency it released on October 20th an updated version to introduce the quote rolling stop functionality. The automaker said to use the feature, vehicles must be traveling below 5.6 miles per hour, and no relevant moving cars, pedestrians, or bicyclists are detected near the intersection. The feature, which appeared to violate state laws that require vehicles to come to a complete stop.
Yeah, it does.
Can you imagine being in the boardroom meeting or like the meeting with your engineers to be like, all right, gang, let's go to the drawing board. What's going to move the needle here at Tesla?
Rolling stop.
Well, Jim, do you ever stop at a stop sign? Stacy, do you ever stop at a stop? No, let's make the software.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
But you know what? It's great for the guy that gets a ticket driving a Tesla for having not stopped completely at a stop sign because of the rolling stop software. He's probably going to subpoena the head engineer from Tesla to come in and explain to the judge why it's not his fault.
Oh my God, truly remarkable. Yeah. And the third story to tie in here with really, you've got to be kidding me. Carvana suspension lifted in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Their 180-day suspension of their dealer license expired, and on Monday, their dealer license for that area of North Carolina, Wake County, I think it was reinstated. Bless their hearts.
Renewed on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously we have all the title issues. We have the ongoing litigation with Carvana, the class action lawsuit, and then we have all sorts of laws that potentially can make it easier or more difficult to actually facilitate.
But it's nice to know that they took a 180-day break of selling cars in that area. And now my supposition is, and this is just a supposition,
I'm all ears,
that they didn't use any of that time to try and figure out how to resolve the title issues that got their license suspended in the first place.
180-day suspension. That is the most heavy-handed pushback we've seen from any of the states thus far. Yeah. I think Florida fined them $6,000 last year.
Oh.
And North Carolina,
that's petty cash.
I mean, for a business like that,
that's petty cash.
Then we have over on Motor Trend, they were on top of this. Kia's latest recall is so huge, it includes nearly everything but the hamsters. That is a quality headline.
It is.
This is another, unfortunately, an airbag recall. 410,000 vehicles. The Sedona, Soul, and Forte models. Yeah, this one's not as cheery.
Where the airbags might not deploy when they should And let's face it, if you're a hamster, you're going to need that airbag more than anything.
Yeah, you really will.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate when you do end up with recalls like these that materially affect the safety of the vehicle.
Yes.
Obviously, the chime on the seatbelt is not one that we should gloss over
Yeah.
per se, but the OTA, the over-the-air updates that newer vehicles have, that's honestly a kind of a selling point for why you would want to consider a newer vehicle. Is if there is an issue,
If it's a software issue, it
Yeah.
can be addressed over the air. If it's a mechanical issue, then it needs to be addressed at the shop. And if the difference between a Kia and a Tesla is, I think Kia shops are more readily available than, say, a Tesla shop.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Also on the really you gotta be kidding me front,
Yes.
it's unfortunate, but here on the homepage of Auto News, the Chevy Spark story is coming to a close. This was breaking news just an hour ago.
Yes.
GM will discontinue the ever-loved Chevy Spark, its smallest and
No, that
lowest
doesn't
price.
say ever loved in there.
Smallest and lowest price nameplate after this summer. We are getting further and further away from offering vehicles that are at attainable price points for
Yes.
most people. The Spark, the Mitsubishi Mirage.
Yes.
There might be another one that I'm missing, right? The Honda Fit.
Yeah.
Those-
Honda Fit was
Yep.
discontinued
Those all
because
were
they're low profit margin, low sales. And so it's just not worth it to the big time manufacturers to keep building and offering those vehicles. And truth be told, if they were to continue them, they might become more popular. And the reason I say that is as interest rates go up and it becomes more difficult for people to afford a higher payment,
Mhm.
it's these inexpensive small cars that might still allow people to get into something. But if those cars don't exist, then there's even a more limited supply of vehicles for those that can't afford a big payment.
The 2022 Spark starts at $14,595 with the destination fee.
Yeah.
The new entry point into the GM brand will be the Chevy Trax
Yeah,
at $22,595 plus the
that's
destination
$8,000. Okay, do you think $8,000 over 60 months could make a difference in somebody's payment? I do. And I think when we see stories like this, it just highlights even further the inequality of transportation in America
100%.
today.
Absolutely.
You know, the chasm between those who can afford and those who can't just keeps growing. And when manufacturers do away with these lower priced cars, it just makes it even worse.